This day, it had vines. It had the fancy, cool vines that you can climb up the walls with, so I collected some of those, and I brought them back home. Before I put those to use, though, I spent all of my money on turnips. Oh my god, I spent so many bells on turnips. It was insane. I spent a catastrophic amount of bells on turnips. This photo is not even like half of the turnips that covered this beach. It was so many turnips. Oh my god. It covered the whole beach, the whole thing. I spent every bell that I had that I was able to spend on turnips. And I was just, you know, really holding out hope that I would get a higher return so that I could spend more money without spending the time on like catching bugs and stuff, which is it's a reliable but a very slow way to make money in this game. The best and most effective way is to play the stock market. Let's go gambling. Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it. That's pretty much how it goes sometimes. But I ended up lucking out pretty big. I made a big fat return. I got about like 1.7 times what I spent. That was the overall yield. So I was able to upgrade my house. It's bigger. I did this again. I did all this another time. But here's the rub. I was tracking the pattern. I was holding out hope the whole week. This was this week, by the way. I did it again last Sunday, and I was continuing to track the prices over the course of these days. I was holding out hope that it was going to be a large spike pattern. In my previous big stock market win, it looked kind of like this. I bought them at 100, and then it immediately starts going down. Immediately, like it just keeps going down. It was not looking good. It was not looking good at all. It was down really low at this point. Just a clear path down from my 100 bell investment. It had gone down quite far from what I initially invested. But then, on Thursday, it went up just a little bit. That meant that immediately after, it went down, and then it surged. And then it went just a little bit higher. I sold here, I think, but it went just a little bit higher. And then it plummeted once again. So overall, this was the path that the stocks that week took here in Animal Crossing. It's kind of like that. Boom. Stock analyst. So I sold here. I honestly wish I would have anticipated this one, but I was really scared. But this was already like 1.7 times what I bought them for. It was at like 170-ish, which was a pretty big win for me, given the risk that I took. And I am known for many things. My impulse control is not among those things. My lack of adequate risk assessment is one of those things. So straight away, first thing I do the next Sunday is I buy a ton of more turnips. I buy so many turnips. I buy like almost twice the amount of the turnips I had prior because, you know, I made a 1.7 times boost to what I had before. I set aside a few hundred, and I also upgrade my house, and then I spend the few hundred that I set aside on upgrading those shops. But other than that, it all goes straight back into turnips. This is what it looked like this time. I bought them at 97 bells, which is a pretty average price. Prices can go as low as like 70 and as high as like 120, I think. I don't know if I'm remembering those numbers correctly, but if it's in that 100 range, you're perfect to buy a bunch. If it's in that 120 range, you don't have to not participate, but it's better not to go super crazy because you're not as likely to see a big return. So it starts at 97. I was jumping the gun a little bit there. Monday morning, 87. Monday evening, 84. Tuesday morning, 81. Tuesday evening, 77. Like we're going down pretty fast. Wednesday morning, 72. Wednesday evening, 69. It's a very clear downward streak here, you see. Now here was my hope. Thursday morning, we had 65. My hope was that I would see something similar to the previous week and that it would be a large spike. My hope was that Thursday evening it would go like this, and then Friday morning it'd be like this, and then Friday evening it'd be like that, like all the way up here to like 300 maybe, with my hubris and my greed. It did not. It did not do that, unfortunately. Thursday evening it went straight down to 62. So we had what we call the decreasing pattern, where it's just going down with no increase at all on your initial investment. And so I called upon everybody that I love. I was going to. I only had to do it twice. I went to Uki first. I was like, Uki, please. My life is in your hands. Can you check your turnip prices for me and maybe let me visit if it's higher than 97? And they're like, anything for you. And then they checked their turnip prices. They said, it's 58 bells. It was 58 bells, which was even worse than what I had. Mind you, down here, we're at 62. This here is 62 bells. So I could not go to Uki, unfortunately. My next thought was Vanta Crowbringer. He was playing Night Rain, as is usual. I message him. I say, Vanta, please, can I ask you to check your turnip prices and maybe visit your island? Wait, you're live. Never mind. And then he finishes his stream. He checks his Discord and he's like, oh, Caelix, say less. We enter VC. We pop in and like play Final Fantasy with Alira because she was playing on stream at the same time and she wanted somebody to queue it. So mind you, like he's doing all this for me to give me a good price. At the same time, he's playing Final Fantasy. At the same time, he's in call with me. At the same time, he's listening to Alira streams. He was locked in. And he got me a big fat return of, I can't remember the exact price. I think it was like 180, 190, maybe even like 200-ish. It was a pretty high number. And so I went to his island. I brought my turnips with me. And I doubled my profits. And I walked away a wealthy man. And so we did not lose all our money. Thank you very much. Thank you for paying close attention to the presentation.